Hello and welcome back to Become a God. This time I'm going to be playing Xged's green-blue jump with a couple of tweaks that I've made just to make the deck suit me more. I've taken out a couple of the events and made sure I have a few more creatures. I don't want to run into the same problem I had when I played King's Dan's green mid-range. So for this one I've just made a few modifications, but you can find Xged's list over on the hub. But yeah, this is a pretty cool deck. It uses the strength of green, it uses the frog tossers and the oversky cards, along with power-ups, and it has a cheeky Yakapult to finish off the matches if you need them. Now, I'm a big fan of blue jump. I'm hoping that green-blue jump will give it the strength it needs to be able to compete at a much higher level. I still feel blue jump's not quite there yet, and maybe adding a splash of green is the answer to give it that strength it needs to tackle those tier 1 decks. So let's get into the match and see how it performs. Alright guys, into our first match. Not a bad hand at all. We've got some power-ups, we've got some land ramp, we also got some Battletoads, so yeah, I think I'll keep this. We can get our land ramp out pretty fast, we can start collecting very early. And we have a really strong turn 1 play now, which I like, with the water elemental. Now, I still haven't decided, do I go down the same side or do I go down the opposite side? This could be mono green, so I feel like I should go down the opposite side. And just like try and apply pressure as quickly as possible. And I'll see now if my opponent side switches. That could be something my opponent will consider. Now that I've decided to go over here. This is a mountain, it's going to be Crackthorn. No, it's going to be a forest. Any plays? No, no plays. Okay. Take a forest of our own. I'm probably going to make this a lake unless I need to do something immediate, like a power-up. So if a forest was to come down here, and a creature, I might consider powering up, or I might forest here and jump into this section. But the reason I say that is simply because I want to get a lake here. Is a good jump spot for the future. So like now that I've done this, I can play a jumper here, here, and here, and they all have the great path to collection. So this goes here, and that just means that my jump paths are just nice and clean. So opponents decided to go in the well with the Oak Father. Might see a spider here. Yeah, I was thinking we might see a spider. I'm not too concerned about, to be honest. So we are going to take an aggressive forest in this situation. And then we're going to go for an aggressive octopus. Just as a 7-3. Forcing my opponent to either play something to block me or just taking the 7. I don't think there'll be any removal unless we see something like Spider Emperor's Command, Spider Falcon Dive, Tiki Totem, Spider. It's a very specific combination, but we'll see what happens. You might see a Voice of Truth. But we're more likely going to see something come down to block. Or even a teleport. Yeah, teleport the Oak Father over, finish it off. That's absolutely fine. And I can use my water element. Oh no. Oh no, maybe just moving the Oak Father. Because it wants the Grove Caller to not be hit by Frog Tosser. Yeah, I like this. This is really smart. Simply because I'm gonna use the spider with a power up. Okay. An Emperor's Command. Alright, I was wrong. I was expecting something else. Absolutely fine. Oh, we have fantastic turn. So we can jump here, we can start pushing a little bit of damage, we can get a forest down. Go for the Frog Tosser. Go for a Frogify. Go for a power up. Well, we'll keep the Elderwood for now. So now our opponent's sitting on 5 Faeria, can clear at the Frog Tosser with the Oak Father, which I'm absolutely fine with at this point because I'd rather clear at the Frog Tosser with a frog rather than the Oak Father survive without Frogifying it. And if this frog doesn't get answered, I have an option to double collect next turn. I could just double neutral straight down, and then I'm quad collecting. As you can see, my opponent decides to go for taking care of my frog to make sure I don't get too much fear, to set up this Yakapult. Which, yeah, it's pretty good. We'll take a draw. Another Tiki. One. Alright, 1, 2, 3. And there we go, just bashing that orb down, knocking at the door, and there we have it, a surrender. Everything lined up pretty nicely for me there. I had the Frogify, the Frog Tosser combo, you know, just kind of taking care of the board there. Yakapult a little bit ambitious to take care of me from applying pressure, but looked pretty good there going down the opposite side against Mono Green. I think we'll try it again in the next match and see how it does, especially if we're going against one of the most powerful decks in the meta like Red Combat or Yellow Tempo. So yeah, we're going to do a bit of experimenting with this build while we play, and so far, looking pretty good. Alright guys, into our next match. Again, looking pretty good with this hand. Some power-ups, some frogs. Let's keep it. Let's see how it goes. I think this hand could be pretty solid. The only problem is if I play against Rush, I'm going to be a little concerned. But no Rush inside. Okay, so we're going to go for... We're just going to have to go for this for now. We'll go for the lake. Hopefully we pick up a Water Elemental. Water Elemental's pretty solid. Actually, I think we may have... Maybe we should have hard mulliganed for a Water Elemental. That wouldn't have been a terrible idea, actually. Just so we have a solid turn 1 play. But I think the Battletoads is pretty good. This allows us to set up some collectors. We can start challenging this card now. This might just move down lake into Mystic Beast, which is pretty strong, to be honest. It has a lot of reach. We're looking to go into the wells. We can just defend from this point. I think we just go Forest. We start really pushing up, like we did in the previous game, going down the opposite side. Gonna be a Sky Captain. And then this tow ship is moving down. Alright. So we're in Flashwind territory now. So I am going to retreat this card. Now it might be even worth taking this as a 5/5 just to clear this out on the following turn. So if this does get Flashwinded across, unless there's a power up or there's a Frogify, which there can't be, there's not enough lakes for a Frogify, I should be in a good situation. Emperor's Command could be a problem as well, to be honest, but hopefully there isn't an Emperor's Command and a Flashwind. We'll see what happens. Soul Drain. To Desert. Into Flashwind. Takes the value. Into an Emissary. Nice little play there. I like that play a lot. We can take the Elderwood Embrace and just clear out this tow ship. I feel like the Elderwood Embrace is a little better because then I just don't get soul drained. So I am saying to my opponent, you need to use this Emissary. And I have my double collector on the side now. I am open to Wind Soldier, which is a little sad. Could just desert here. Or just land here and move across. No, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Flashwind would be pretty good again, simply because you get the value, and then I have to use my Octopus. So that would be very unfortunate, but hopefully that won't happen. We'll be able to keep our double collector on the right-hand side. That's the dream, at least. And another tow ship as a 6/6. Pretty good. Lots of pressure being applied. Frogify getting picked up. That's very good. I think I'll take a draw here. Triton Warrior. Just try and get some more creatures. Next turn I'll go for the Warrior. Continue to use this as a defender probably. But my opponent definitely has initiative. My opponent is far ahead here. Just keeps dropping these threats down, which is becoming a problem. And that's the Soul Drain. Oh man. Makes me feel bad. When everything lines up. So I go to Triton Warrior. I can use the Tiki Caretaker to finish this off. But I really want to double collect. So I think I'm just going to take the Battletoads here and just take a little bit of a risk. Take the damage. This card just needs to die, but getting over there is just so difficult. So my opponent's probably just going to get value from this. For the rest of the match. I don't really know how I get over there and answer it. I mean, I guess I could jump here next turn. Just take the 5. Hopefully another creature doesn't get developed and go from there. But I think there's going to be something else coming down. I can't see my opponent passing at this point. Especially when there's only 2 frogs on the board. I mean, maybe if there's a Soul Drain, another Soul Drain. But it's not really worth it because I can still double collect regardless. I think getting this frog on this desert's pretty good actually, because then I can clear this on the follow-up. But I need a fantastic top deck here. I need like a frog, another Frogify. I think that would really help. Frog Tosser would be really good as well. I can just Frog Tosser this. So that is another, actually that is another way I can answer this card. Oh, these Flash Winds are tearing me apart. Oh, no. No. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I'm innocent. Oh, man. I have to +1. Surely I have to +1 here. Delgano playing very well, you know, just going for that board control, doesn't want to push the damage yet, so playing this a lot like Yellow Tempo. You know, prioritizing board control, making life difficult. That's what Yellow likes to do. At least 2 Flash Winds are gone. I'm still pretty healthy. I just need to set up a collector. I just need to start harvesting Faeria, which has become very difficult at the moment. Another Sky Captain. Making sure I can't collect from there. Feels bad, guys. But we do have the Tiki Caretaker. So that's good. You know, we can set up a Tiki Caretaker over here. And just pray there's no removal. I think I'll take a forest ready for a Frog Tosser if I pick one up. But that double collector on the left hand side is absolutely brutal. Toe Ship is a hard card to deal with. As a 5/5, which moves land and allows more aggressive plays, it can be pretty oppressive in the right deck. And in this situation, it's been terrifying. I haven't really had an answer. Ah, man, the Wind Soldier. No. Please don't say there's more. Altar of Souls? Well. What can I say? Other than I've probably lost. Oh, Frogify. Nice to see you. I don't have any Emperor's Command, so there's not a lot I can do there. Yeah, we're just going to surrender this one, guys. So, good game. Not a lot I could do there. Maybe I needed to go at the same side. I don't know. Maybe I kept a bad hand in the mulligan. I didn't really know what to expect. But yeah, this deck looked pretty cool actually. Altar of Souls being played as well, and the Mistral Guide. Very spicy stuff. But 1-1 so far. Let's keep going. All right, guys, another match. Hopefully this time we'll do a little bit better. This is okay. I'm going first. I guess I could keep the Frogify actually. I know I've needed it quite a lot in my recent games, so yeah, I feel like keeping Frogify is going to be worthwhile. Go for this lake at the start. We also have the Shifting Octopus. If we don't want to go for the Battletoad, so say if we're playing against red now, I think Shifting Octopus is just a better line. Since we're playing against green, I'm quite happy to go for Battletoads. And then set up these creatures in a more aggressive position later on. So we're going to go lake here, forest. What's that going to be? A Bloom Sprite. So this could be green-yellow Sacrifice. Or it could be like an interesting variation of mono green. I guess we will find out. So just going to take another lake. I will pass here. So double neutral across might be worthwhile. It's a little slow, but it does let me challenge the Spirit of Rebirth. Deepwood Stalker, just going to munch up my frog. Might even see another one come down. Nope, just the one. So we can collect here. I think we just continue to develop down this side. Let's get a 5/5. Go for the warrior as well. So we can, if this gets Deepwood Stalked or it gets soul drained, we can just jump across with the Triton warrior, and then we're still collecting off the bottom well, and this should be able to collect off the top well. We might see a bone collector. We might see just move down and a bone collector. We might see a Shaitan assassin, which would be pretty terrifying for me. Oh, 2 Spirit Rebirths. That is some value. Yep, Shaitan Assassin. That's going to move back. Into a Bone Collector. Frogify, I can't Aurora as well. That really sucks. But I can Elderwood Embrace. So I could Forest here. Frogify this. Trade them off. This gets a power up. Then I Elderwood Embrace. Yeah. Okay. Move this up. And looking pretty good so far. We get Yakapult next turn, which I think is going to be pretty important for applying pressure. Our opponent's doing a very good job of keeping us at bay. You know, with that Shaitan Assassin, you know, with this removal, Spirit Rebirth is getting value. So, you know, there's a lot of good stuff going on for my opponent right now. Probably just going to see a Wind Soldier, I would imagine. Okay, a Demon Wrangler. Another Frogify. What do we want to do? I think we just take a forest. I'll finish this off. Trade this off. Go for the Yakapult. So I can Aurora the Yakapult on the next turn and just have this massive Yak launcher and just hit for 6 damage every turn, making a little Yak when I can. I think it's gonna really help. Wind Soldier. Yeah, get rid of the Octopus. Forest. Is that a Soul Eater? What is going on? What on earth? Did all the procs from these two go on this? That is insane. That is just insanity. Okay, I'm gonna have to +1 in this situation simply because I don't really have. I'm just gonna have to hope this lives. It's not going to live. My opponent's just gonna move across and kill it. But then I can finish off the Spirit of Rebirth at least. That takes a draw. Might just run up and trade. Might just trade these two off. That Bone Collector was insane. What on earth? How many procs did this get? It was set up pretty early on, to be honest, and then two of them started going. So having that Frogifier is, whew, pretty good, to say the least. What's this? Soul Eater? Yeah, okay. Oh, really? Come on. That just lines up perfectly. Come on. That's just... What are the chances that are going to happen? That's just game, guys. I don't think I could come back from here. I've used 2 Frogifiers already, so yep, that's going to be game. Not happy with how that went. That was just really sad and really brutal. So things are not going too well. The thing is, when we're at the start of a season, it's very hard to even predict a metagame because the metagame develops as the season progresses. So I've played a different deck every match. I've played against Green of Sack, you know, I've played against the Mono Green with the Oak Father. So everyone's just playing a bit of everything at this point. So it's very hard to adjust your decks to the meta. But that was just brutal. I felt like I just got outdrawn in that situation. I had the answer. I had the Frogify for the Bone Collector, but then having the Wind Soldier to finish off my Archetype was the nail in the coffin. But yeah, that's another game down at the pan. You know, unfortunately, another loss. Let's keep playing. Let's see if we can get some wins. All right, guys, another match. Mulligan ticking away there. We have Mythmaker. We also have the Battletoads. So hopefully we're able to get something done. Desert to kick things off. Okay, we're going into the lake. And greetings from our opponent there. Hello to you too. This I like this deck. Maybe I just need to learn it more. I think I don't know. Oh man, not this deck again. I don't know. Maybe I have a lot to learn before I can start playing this deck well. We're gonna get the Battletoads here quite safe. I might double neutral over just to start collecting. I know it seems a bit silly. Although I do have double power up, so maybe I just forest and I get a Tiki Caretaker on this well. But this moves and there might be a desert into a Fanatic, which would be absolutely devastating. Into a forest. Interesting. Forest into what? That's my question. Shifting Octopus. That's a 3/7. Okay. I want to kill the tow ship. The tow ship is my issue here. We'll probably see this take value on my frog. I don't think there's much I can do about it. Let's just keep it boxed in. Let's make sure it can't move anywhere. We can take a forest then next turn. I think we go forest, and we just stick a Tiki Caretaker on this well, and hopefully it'll just stick around. It'll just collect Faeria for us, which would be really handy if we can get a creature to stick. But I was surprised to see the Octopus there. So this deck looks pretty spicy already. Goes for another lake. Into another Octopus? Into an Ancient Boar. Okay. I'm gonna take that out. I like this. Positioning around. Make sure that my Aurora can't get much done. But we will jump over. We'll just finish this card off. Yeah, we'll just wait. I guess Aurora is just gonna get eaten by a boar in this situation. My hand's pretty bad, to be honest. I've just got loads of power-ups, and I don't have the land to use them. If I could have powered up Aurora there, would have been perfect. But didn't have the opportunity to do it, unfortunately. Lake into Ancient Herald. I need to draw something pretty fantastic at this point. Water Elemental, it's not it, but I just have to take what I can get right now and just hope there's not a Frogify. Story of my life. Just hope my opponent doesn't have an answer. I think that top card that was ripped off the top of the deck there is going to be some form of crowd control. I hope not. I really hope not. I don't feel like I've had a proper game since... Well, I don't even feel like the first match I played was really a proper game. I kind of just blew out my opponent because I had all the answers. But now I feel like my other opponents I've played are doing the same. So, I know, it's just like... I would like just like a back and forth match. Emperor's Command, okay. That's a bit more reasonable than Frogify. Interesting. Into the campfire. Alright, very interesting. Ah, more Tiki Caretakers? Come on, game. Can I have something that isn't... Very frustrating, guys. I must admit, this is just very frustrating for me to deal with. Oh, we know there is a campfire. My opponent wants to invest both creatures into this. I'll take it at this point. So these two finish off my water elemental. Tiki Caretaker is still doing pretty well over here. There's no Frog Tosser this turn for my opponent, so that's pretty good. There's no Frog Tosser basically means that I'm going to keep this creature, my opponent's not going to get one on this side. I'd like to draw Frog Tosser myself, actually. Especially if the Outland Ranger lives. I'm just going to trade off with it. Into a tow ship. Okay. Triton Warrior. Right, I'm going to go for the Water Elemental here because I think the plan going forward is going to power this up and kill the tow ship. That's the dream. So I can just like Caretaker Elder with this and just kill the tow ship. Hopefully nothing too unbearable comes down, like a boar. I can jump across and I can clear this. I'm just not collecting the Faeria. Having a forest here is just really awkward. Two boars, well, two boars is two boars too many, you could say. If I somehow survive this turn, I think I'll be okay. I think I have to just... Oh, man, I need the Faeria. I need a double power up. Oh no, I could just Elderwood. Or I could just even Tiki Caretaker. So yeah, I think I just I think I just have to use the water elemental at this point. Hope it's not an Empress command. Maybe that's too dangerous. I don't know. Oh, I know. I wanted to move this here to block. Oh, well, it's too late now. Alright, so one power up away and I'm dead from my opponent's triple boars. Well played. Campfire. Oh, there's a campfire. There is a campfire, so I did lose to that anyway. So my misplay there. Very frustrating. I don't know. I think I've just had a very frustrating experience this episode. I just don't feel like anything works out at all. You could just... I mean, I did make a misplay there, so it is my own fault in this match. I don't know, do you guys have any thoughts? If you have any comments or any thoughts about how I've played, or maybe some things I could have done differently. Both episodes this season have been pretty rough so far. I'm trying to play kind of more, I guess, I tried to play Yellow Tempo in the first episode, and that didn't work out. Yellow Tempo takes a lot of practice. Playing this deck now, again, just doesn't seem to line up at all. I'm not feeling too good about it right now. I don't really want to switch over to something like Red Combat just so I can climb. I do find that deck quite boring. It's very linear. But it might actually just be required for next episode, I think. Simply because right now, I just can't predict the meta at all. And I keep getting blown out by my opponents. And I keep drawing like nonsense like this. I don't know why I keep playing these decks with just loads of gas. I need to play just more consistent decks with creatures. It's more my style. But we'll play one more match we'll finish this episode off. I do apologize if you guys find it a bit disappointing in my performance, but I'm hoping to pick it back up in the next episode and start climbing. Because, yeah, these event-heavy power-up decks are just not for me. Alright guys, final match of this episode. Not a bad hand, actually. I think I'll keep this. The Water Elemental's nice. I'm at least able to develop a Water Elemental on turn 1. Gonna be a desert to start things off. Let's see what happens next. We go to the lake. Let's do this. Nice and easy opening play. Can start jumping over here, can go forest. Maybe play this as a taunter, maybe play as a jumper. We'll see what my opponent gets up to first. My opponent might just go down the opposite side now. Start ignoring each other until we start playing more aggressive. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, desert up front. Into Shaitan Demon. Into Sagittarius. Very, very curious play there. So probably look into Kaleem's training on the follow-up here. This can Kaleem's training over and finish off my Water Elemental. And then I just have to put... I mean, I guess it still needs to... It still needs a Flash Wind to get to my orb. This is so awkward. I don't even know what to do here. I guess I do this. Which I'm not too happy about, really, but... It does protect my Water Elemental from a Kaleem's train in this way. I don't mind if these trade so much. I need to draw another jump creature. I need to draw like a Triton Warrior to stick here so I can start challenging the Sagittarius. We might see just a smoke too. We might see Kaleem's training come down, move, Flash Wind, hit for 6, pray, all sorts of nonsense. Who knows? Who knows what could happen from this point? This is a very peculiar play. I think you make this line if you have Kaleem's training. I don't think there's any other reason to do it. I'm gonna shoot. Gain that Faeria back from the Sagittarius. And the Wind Soldier clear, so just taking care of business here, mopping up my board. I get a neutral here, I would imagine. I'm not gonna... Oh, considering taking my lake spot. I like this. Just make things a little awkward for me. Nice play there from Banana. I like it. So I'm gonna make a land here, and then they're gonna forest here. So this is actually very strange. I've not really developed land like this, but the idea is that my opponent needs to double neutral this side now before any kind of hasters can come in. I'm assuming this is a rush deck. That's my assumption. Another Wind Soldier? Another Wind Soldier, okay. Tiki Caretaker. Not really what I want, but... Alright, we go for Frog Tosser next turn. I think we just wait at this point. Nice to see you, Frog Tosser. Haven't really seen you much this episode. Ah, oh, no, this is where things start getting a bit out of hand. Sagittarius into prey. Nasty stuff. So need one more forest. You know, just Frog Tosser this. Get rid of that Sagittarius. That Sagittarius had amazing value. Gained a lot of Faeria, managed to proc the prey. Zealous Crusader is probably the win condition here. Luckily I have a Frogify, I just need to keep something on board. I just need to start collecting Faeria, which has been my problem, I think, throughout the entire episode. I'm just never able to set up. My cards are always answered. It's very difficult to get something down in this meta right now because it just keeps getting removed. There's just so much removal. I think that mono green deck I played at the end of the last season might be my go-to deck now because it's just got sturdy, bulky creatures that can survive a lot of removal. You know, forcing my opponent to combo removal to get rid of them, and I think that's where the meta is going. It's just removal, removal, removal. Even I have a little bit of removal. I have Frog Tossers, but unless I draw them or unless I have the lands, I can't react to anything. The Drakkar Sky Captain over here was very difficult to deal with. Look at this again. Board. Oh, my complete board's removed. I can't get anything to stick. It's really difficult. Red is just killing everything with Ground Shakers and Flame Burst. Yellow is just using Soul Drains. It's been very, very difficult to actually get anything going. Right, let's just do this. I'm gonna +1. Now you can't have double Soul Drain. We've seen 2 Wind Soldiers. We've seen a Soul Drain. Let one of my little frogs live. Let a frog collect some Faeria and be happy with his life. I can jump up here, jump over here. I can actually try collect if none of these get answered. So Battletoads might be the card that brings me back into this match. Soul Drain, Wind Soldier? Come on, guys. Let's be real here. Let's be real. My opponent has all the removal in the world. I can't get anything to stick to the board. I mean, my opponent's not putting any pressure on. It's just making it very difficult for me to start harvesting. It's going to be a game of mill at this point. I'm going to get Doomsday next turn, you watch. So that's all the Wind Soldiers, and that's 2 Soul Drains. So there could be Choking Sands, there could be Last Nightmares, there could even be Crystal Flowers at this point. I don't even know. I don't know anymore. I've lost the plot. If this is a Sagittarius, I have a Ninja Toad to eat it up, which is nice. So things are starting to look pretty good for me. I am coming back now. If this sticks to the board, I'm definitely in a good position. But I think I've finally exhausted most of my opponent's removal. Which has been pretty exhausting so far to get that going. I guess I lake here. This gives me an aggressive lake to start pushing damage. And then I just get the Ninja Toad down. Jump over. Kill the Saggy. We pass. Okay, the frogs are back, guys. We're getting somewhere. Until Doomsday comes down, like I said. We're doing okay. Takes another draw. Things are looking pretty bleak for me. All the Soul Drains. That's every Soul Drain gone now and every Wind Soldier. So yeah, I'm going to use this as a collector because, if I'm quite honest, I just want to make sure I have Faeria to work with. So I got 7 damage going through next turn. I also have another 2 coming from the Yakapult. I also have the Tiki Caretaker to power this up if I need it. So looking pretty good. All the Wind Soldiers are gone and all the Soul Drains are gone, so this needs to be Nightmared. I'm happy to trade that much Faeria off for the Nightmare. Alright. We can start drawing cards now. We're in a position where we're actually ahead. So we have to play around Doomsday a little bit. So I'm just going to do this. I'm not even going to play a card this turn. I'm just going to pass. I'm going to sit on my 5 Faeria. Doomsday comes down. I just Fugoro. Fugoro to get my urn. Get some more Faeria back. Feels pretty good. No need to... In these situations, there's no need to overextend. It's nice to just keep the resources. I have Lethal in hand anyway. I have Lethal on board at this point. We know all the removals being used, so I don't really need to invest any Faeria going forward. And then we have it. So that is going to be a victory. So we went 2-3 in the end. Not the best score. A little bit frustrating to play this deck in this meta, I must be honest, just from my experience during this episode. But like I said, I feel like I might just go back to mono green that I played at the end of last season, because I feel that deck can just stand up to all this aggression and all this removal. But we'll see what I play when we get to the next episode. And that wraps up this episode of Become a God. Like I said, a little bit frustrating for me, mainly because of the decks I lined up against and some of the answers my opponent had. I felt like I was just lacking in removal, which is something that kind of green-blue kind of is these days. Don't use the Crystal Flowers anymore. We don't really have access to Skywhale that easily. So maybe I think if I was going to refine the deck a little bit, I'd just add removal. It had the same problem I had with S02E02's mid-range deck. Just too much power-ups. Like too many cards to use if I'm ahead. So if I'm never if you have all these power-ups in hand, like the Tiki Caretaker, the Otherwood Embrace, it's fantastic if you're ahead on board or if you actually have initiative. But if you have no initiative, they are just dead cards because you can't safely play a guy into power-ups against some decks. They're just going to get Nightmare, they're going to get Frogified, even Crystal Flowered. It's just not a viable strategy. So, once again, I kind of had a similar episode to that mid-range green deck because it was just too much gas, not enough stability. But yeah, that is the green-blue jump list from Xged. I did do a little bit of tweaking. Didn't change much. I just added those Tiki Caretakers over the Runin's Presence just so I could have more creatures, but it didn't actually help me and my play style in the end. But if you like those style of decks which have a lot of gas, you know, where you can just keep your initiative and keep pumping out power-ups, this deck could be for you. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. This is a new season of Become a God. I'm just trying out some decks at the start of the season while things are fresh. And then we should probably consider some real serious climbing. I did say like I'd rather not play Red Combat because it's just... I just find it really boring personally, but I'll try and find a deck that I enjoy. Maybe I just go back to Gem Shell. Maybe I can just play that mid-range green I played at the end of the last season, which I was talking about at the end of that game, but we'll find out throughout the next episodes. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy Green Blue Jump.